Welcome to Yoga Stretch. My name is Katie. Today we're going to talk about strengthening your ankles and feet. Now we need a little bit of flexibility and tension in our feet, and normally that's found in our arches. So that gives us a spring in the step and also in our walking and running, and also lots of other things. Welcome to Yoga Stretch. My name is Katie. Today we're going to talk about strengthening our ankles and feet. Now we need a little bit of flexibility and tension in our feet in order to get movement. The arches of our feet are quite important because they act as shock absorbers as well as giving us some nice spring in our step. But we haven't got a lot of muscles in our feet, so we do rely upon the muscles in the lower leg, the shin and the calves, and all those important tendons that attach those muscles down to our feet through our ankles. So we're going to focus on those a little bit today. So please come and join me in lying down. So make sure you're nice and comfortable on the floor, and just slide your shoulders towards hips and just hug the bottom of the shoulder blades in so the chest can open nicely. Just relax the feet and just let them drop outwards. You can wiggle your toes a little bit to start to loosen up in those feet. And bring your left hand on your heart center, right hand on the belly. Chin nods a little bit towards the chest. Let's start to focus on our breathing. Expand into the belly, and let the busyness of the day disappear as you focus on yourself as we do the yoga. Now to start warming up into our feet, we're going to bring those toes forward, just towards the chest. Bring your arms down by your sides. And we're going to breathe in, bring the arms overhead and point the toes away. Take a big long stretch, reaching the toes as far as you can to one end of the room and hands to the other end, and breathe out. Bring the toes forward. Arms down by the sides. Let's breathe in. Point the toes away. Be very conscious of your feet today. And breathe out. Bring your toes forward. And let's do that again. Breathe in. Nice big stretch. And breathe out, hands to sides. Let's do that 2 more times. Nice big stretch. Remember to move those feet. Point the toes. Flex them towards you. And let's do that 1 more time. Nice big stretch and flex those feet towards you. Now we're going to bring our hands to chest in prayer and do some Buddha breathing. So walk your feet to the end position. Drop your knees out to the sides. We're going to breathe in, bring the arms overhead, slide the legs away but keep the soles of the feet together. And breathe out, hands back to chest, feet back to hips. Breathe in, extend away. You can tap your thumbs overhead on the floor and breathe out. Bring those feet and hands back in again. Let's do that 1 more time. Breathe in and breathe out. That's our level 1 position. Stay there if you want to. Otherwise, join me by lifting your feet up into the air. Make sure your back is nice and comfy, your tummy is drawn down. So we're going to breathe in, reach our legs to the ceiling, breathe out, hands back to chest. Breathe in, reach up, and breathe out, hands back to chest. And again, breathe in, and breathe out, hands to chest. Now, level 3, legs to 45 degrees. Arms over the hips. A little bit stronger now. Keep your tummy nice and firm. Breathe in. And breathe out, hands to chest. 1 more time. And breathe out. Beautiful. Let's bring the knees to chest. Give them a nice big hug. And you can rock a little bit from side to side, just to stretch out that lower back. Okay, let's bring our arms into a T position and lower the knees down to one side. Turn the head to the other side. You can take the hand nearest the knee and rest it on top, just so you can get a little extra assistance for your twist. If you can, extend the top leg. If you can reach the big toe with your index and middle finger, hold on and stretch that leg out a little bit more. And bend your knee, bring your knees back up to the ceiling. And we're going to lower them to the other side. And just pop your hand on top of your knee and see if we can help stretch that hip. So don't press down on it, just rest your hand comfortably. And extend the top leg forward. And if you can reach your big toe, hold your big toe and get a bigger stretch. And we do need to have those shoulder blades on the floor, so do your best. Bend your knee and roll back onto your back, and let's extend the legs. We're going to bring the arms over the head and just take the hands into pistol grip, shoulders towards hips. Now we're going to roll from side to side, so we're going to roll up onto one side of the body, and then keep your head and arms lifted a little as you roll to the other side. So you're just going to roll from side to side. This is a lovely movement. Quite a lovely massage for your back as well. And just keep rolling till you get that nice momentum that keeps you going. Okay, finishing off your last one, and then onto your back. Bring your hands down by your sides. And let's lift the legs up one at a time. Nice flat tummy. And you can hold the backs of your legs, or you can just place your hands down. So we're going to do a little bit of foot mobility exercises. So let's point through the toes, squeeze up your toes, and then bring your feet into a flexed position and feel the stretch in the back of the legs. Point and squeeze up your toes and then flex. That's it. Squeeze your toes and point and then flex. Let's try that 2 more times. Squeeze forward and flex. Last time, squeeze those toes up, flex the foot and spread your toes out. Now we're going to circle the feet, so squeeze up the toes for the bottom part of the circle, spread them out for the other part of the circle. Okay, so half the circle, we've got the toes squeezed. For the other half, we're going to try and stretch them out. Let's go back the other way. So you have to concentrate a little bit to get your toes squeezing together and spreading out. That's it, beautiful. Lovely ankle circles, which strengthen up those ankles beautifully. All right, lovely. So we're going to take the hands behind the knees, bend the knees, and do a little bit of back rolling. If you don't wish to do that, please just take a seated position. If you're going to join me, lift your head, drop your chin to chest, let your shoulders drop down. Nice firm tummy, flatten it down. Rock the legs forward. Just tap them down lightly and then round your back out and roll back. So you want to round your back out, just making sure that you're rolling quite comfortably and easily. Let's try one more. Okay, now we're going to come into a butterfly pose. So drop your knees out to the side, hold your ankles or your feet, whichever you can reach easily. Lift up nice and tall, drop the shoulders down, draw the tummy in. Now we're just going to draw those knees down a little. That's it, lovely. Draw them down a little bit more, stretch the inner thighs, and down a little bit more. That's it, perfect. Now we're going to release the feet, take the hands onto the knees. You might like to slide your feet a little bit further forward. Lift your rib cage up, gaze up, and breathe out, round the back. So this is our cat-cow pose in a butterfly position. Draw the navel in, round the back. Breathe in, and breathe out. Pull the tummy in, round the back. That's it, let's try that 2 more times. All right, we're going to cross those legs, and if you can, roll forwards. Otherwise, you're going to swing your legs around to the side. Now we're going to do some cat-cow poses. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, and let's breathe in, cat arch, big stretch in the back, lift the navel up. Now, chin to chest, gaze at your thighs. Now press the tops of the feet into the floor. You'll feel your buttocks squeeze, your tummy tighten a bit more. Lengthen through your arms a little bit more, create tension. So put a little bit of pressure onto the ankles. And we're going to breathe in, cow pose. Now, tuck your toes under. We want the variation with the feet, like we were doing at the beginning with our flexing and pointing. Okay, drop the rib cage down, look forward. Breathe in, flatten the feet. Lift up nice and high. Press the tops of feet in the floor. Squeeze the buttocks, arch into the back more. Lengthen the arms a little bit more. And then cow pose, tuck toes under. Lower your rib cage down and bring your shoulder blades towards your hips. Let's do that again. Breathe in, cat arch. Press the tops of the feet in the floor. Lift up through the waist. Nice and strong. And cow pose. Come back to a neutral cat. So we're going to draw our navel up. Keep the hands under knees, hands under our shoulders, and the knees under hips. Now we're going to wag the dog's tail. So you might just want to walk your knees in a bit closer and extend one leg back. So I'm extending my left foot back. Tighten the tummy and bring the leg around to the front. So you might want to breathe out as you bring your toe forward as far as you can and breathe in. Sweep the leg back and take a look at your toe over the other shoulder. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Now let's try that 2 more times. Nice big swing with the leg. Bring it right around your body. And last one. Lovely. And now bring your knees back to the start position and slide your right leg back. And we'll do that again. Breathe out and breathe in. Sweep. Look over the shoulder. Big sweep back. And gaze over your shoulder. Let's do that again. 2 more to go. Last one. And place your knee down. Lovely. We've got alternate arm leg raises, so let's slide one arm and leg out. Reach, keep the tummy lifted, and lower the hand and knee down. Breathe in. Big reach forward. Breathe out. Lower your hand and knee. Let's do that again. Breathe in. Reach. Point through the toes. And breathe out. And changing. Really point through the foot. And we've got one more each side. Big point through the foot. Big reach through the hand. So all of this helps us to stretch out our feet. Now we've got a pointer. So we're going to extend the right arm, left leg. And bring it around to a diagonal position. Tighten the tummy, keep the little arm and leg forward and back. Place the hand and knee down. Try pointer on the other side. Extend opposite arm and leg. And rotate diagonally. Hand and leg forward and back. Place your hand and knee down. Let's try that again. Extend. Rotate. Forward and back with the hand and knee down. Change sides. Breathe in to lift. Breathe out to diagonal. Breathe in, forward and back. Breathe out to lower. One more time each side. Breathe in to extend. Breathe out, diagonal. Breathe in, forward and back. Breathe out, hand and knee down. Change sides. Breathe in, extend. Breathe out, diagonal. Breathe in, forward and back. Breathe out, hand and knee down. Now if you do get cramps in your toes, tuck them under as I do, just to get rid of that cramp. Now we're going to do a hero's pose. So this one can be quite challenging. So we'll start with a thunderbolt pose and I'll face forward. Now sitting on heels can be quite challenging for people with tight feet, calves or shins. So what you can do is you can roll up a towel and pop it between the thighs and the calves and sit on it. You can also take yoga bricks and take a seat for the next pose, for hero's pose. So hero's pose, we're just going to move our knees a bit wider and take a seat between our ankles. Now, this is very good for posture, it's good for knees, ankles and feet, but it can be quite challenging to do. So again, if you have a brick, you can lift up your hips and put the brick or the towel under your hips and then sit down. So feel free to use props at any time during your yoga. It can be most helpful. Now, if this is quite comfortable for you, you might find that you can bring your hands behind you and perhaps even go down to your elbows. Now, some days you'll probably find that a little bit easier than other days. And some of you might even be able to lie right down. Now, if you're one of those people, please take a lie down. Otherwise, if you're feeling a little bit stiff today, then just ease yourself down, perhaps to your elbows even. Chin to chest, or you can lower your head back, just depending on what your neck feels like today. So each day is different. Our body responds differently every day when we wake up. All right, let's take a few breaths there. And when you feel quite comfortable, let's lift ourselves back up again. I'm going to bring our hands forward, lifting up. Beautiful. And I'm going to turn sideways. And we're coming into a child's pose. So toes together, knees wide, extend your arms forward. Bring shoulders towards the hips and tighten the tummy. Make sure your shoulder blades are lovely and flat on your back. Breathe into your back, right from the lower spine to the neck. Puff your back out with your breath. And lifting up into a cat position and then a down dog. Now let's walk the heels up and down, taking a nice big stretch in the ankles and the calves. Can we feel that big stretch? Now just walk your feet a little bit forward for a shorter dog. And see if you can settle your heels on the floor. You can bend your knees a little bit if you want. Then lift your toes up, so that's working your shins. Can you feel that? So your heels are down and your toes are lifted. Let's lower them down. Lift the toes, lower them down, lift the toes, and lower them down. You can walk your feet back just a little bit again, just into your usual length down dog, so it's a medium-sized dog position. And let's step the feet together. Lift the right leg up, three-leg dog, so make sure you're not rotating your foot out. So lift up the leg, 5 toes point at the floor. Now we're going to bend the knee and rotate the hip, look under the arm, or just gaze at your toes, whichever works best. So now we've got that big stretch around the ribs and the side of the body, weight evenly through the hands, and we're going into our pigeon hip stretch. Come forward, slide your knee back. Now toes need to come forward, even if you can't get your leg to the 90-degree position. You do need to bring your toes forward to protect the knee. So that puts our foot in a very good position and our leg in a good position, which supports our knee. So coming into this position, we want to make sure the shoulders are downwards away from the ears. Tummy slightly lifted, hips are even and parallel to the floor. Now you might want to stack your fists, rest your head on top, or stack your hands and rest your head on top, or extend the arms, have the elbows lifted or elbows on the floor. Whichever works for you best. Just make sure you're not working into neck and shoulders, so shoulders away from ears. And we're focusing on stretching into the hip, so breathe down to the belly and the lower back. Alright, now let's lift up. Shoulders towards hips. That's it, nice and tall through the spine, then back, bend your back knee. Now, if this is as far as you can go, that's fine. But if you can get your hand around to hold your ankle, hang on to that, and then push the foot, the top of the ankle, into the hand, which will help lift you up and balance you. So you're strengthening your ankle as you hold and push, and then lift your hand up to balance. And then lower your hand down, Release your ankle, lower the foot down and tuck the toes under. Walk your knee forward. Then lifting back into a dog, a down dog position. Okay, so we're going to step our feet together again. And this time lift the left leg up, 3-leg dog. Then rotate the hip, look under the arm. Take 3 big breaths here. Come back into pigeon. Hip stretch, remember toes are forward. Slide your leg back. And come down to elbows. Or stack your fists. Even stack your hands or extend your arms. So just go back into the position that you went into last time. Remembering to keep the shoulders away from the ears. And breathe into the belly and lower back to stretch into that hip. Then lifting up, we're going to bend the back knee, bring the hand around, hold the top of the foot. Now press the top of the foot or the ankle into the top of the ankle into the hand. Find your balance, lift your hand. Now take a seat and take your back leg around over the front leg. Now I'll turn and face you so you can see what I'm doing. If you find discomfort in the knee, the bottom leg in the knee, extend that leg forward, make yourself comfortable. Otherwise you're going to stay in this alert pose. And then wrap your arm around your knee for a twist, other arm behind the back. Lift yourself up lovely and tall, look in front of your shoulder. Now, if you can, bring the arm that's behind you around your back. And take the front arm inside your knee, hold your big toe, or if you want to go in a full bind, please do. And release. Now we're going to take the top leg, bring it into a mermaid position. And take the left hand behind us, sweep the arm up and come into a kneeling wild thing. A stretch around the hip and around the side of the body. Gaze down, gaze upwards. Pick a head position that you like. Breathe into the side of your body. And let's take a seat. Let's bring the legs around to the other side. And come into that kneeling wild thing again. Big stretch into the side of the body. And then take a seat. And this time we bring the other leg over the knee. Again, if this knee is uncomfortable, you're going to extend your leg. Otherwise, stay with me in this position. Sitting up tall, try to get both sit bones on the floor. Wrap your arm around your knee, other arm behind the back. Lifting up tall. You can put the arm right around the back if you prefer. And take the front arm inside the knee, hold the big toe, or come back into the full bind. And then release. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to come back onto our knees. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips up, back into our down dog, and walk the hands towards the feet, And just toe heel your feet a bit closer. Hold the elbows, chin to chest. Move your body weight forward in your feet and just move your elbows and torso from side to side. So we stretch into the back, right down to the lower back. And pause and move your head forward and backwards in a yes movement. Loosen up the neck and then sideways in a no movement. And then place your hands on your shins, breathe in, breathe out, slide your hands up your legs. Lifting up your shoulders, draw them back and downwards. Now we're going to spend just a little bit of time talking about our mountain pose and our feet. Let's start with a few little exercises for our feet by just rocking the foot forward and pressing into the toes. Spread your toes out. It's very good for your feet. Okay. And then lift up the other heel, spread the toes out. You can even move your foot a little bit from side to side. Give them all a good stretch. Okay, lovely. Now we're going to bring our feet as close as we can together and start to lift our rib cage up far away from our hips and the tummy draws in. Little squeeze in the bottom part of the buttocks, thighs firm up and hold yourself nice and tall. So lift shoulders to ears, roll them back, draw them downwards and just tuck your chin in slightly, balancing the head on top of the neck. Bring your arms just a little away from your body, let them hang loosely. And we're going to focus on our feet, so your eyes can be open or closed. Now we have a tripod of balance, which is our heel, the base of our big toe and the base of the little toe. So press those 3 points in each foot down into the mat, but not really hard, just a light pressure. So you're aware of those 3 points. Now lift the arches in your feet. You might find your knees tighten up a little bit. Try not to lock your knees though. So just a little bit of a lift in the arch and the inside of the foot. Now we also have an arch on the outer edge of the foot, so I want you to try and lift that. So when you think you have both sides of your feet arches lifted, you'll feel very light on your feet. You feel as if you're lifting up nice and tall and lightly. Beautiful. Now I'm going to turn sideways. We're going to take a deep breath in, sun salute, and breathe out, forward fold, flat back, and forward fold. We have some sun salutes with variations, so let's step our right foot back, place the knee down, flatten the top of the foot, bring the hands to knee. Move the hips forward. Knee lined up with the ankle, shoulders are down, tummy's firm. If you can, you're going to lean forward for our level 2 position and just rest your fingertips on the floor, keeping a nice long spine, shoulders away from ears, looking forwards if you can. Breathe into the belly. Bring your hands down to the floor, tuck your back toe under, front foot back into plank. If you need your knees on the floor, put them down. Shoulders towards hips, tighten the tummy. Little squeeze in the bottom of the buttocks and firm waist. Take 3 breaths here. Breathe in, breathe out. Plank or plank down to the floor or knees and chest go down. Breathe in, cobra. Push through heels of hands. Draw the shoulders down. Squeeze the buttocks. Gaze up. Tuck toes under. Lift the hips. Down dog. Now step your feet together, lift your right leg up, 3-leg dog, 4, 5 toes point to the floor and lunge your foot between your hands. Lower your back knee down and flatten the toes. Hands on the knee, move your hips forward, shoulders drop down. Level 2 position, lean forward. Breathe into the belly. And then place the hands down, tuck the back toe under and step the back foot next to the front foot. Let's go into flat back. Breathe out, forward fold. Deep breath in, sun salute, lift up. And breathe out, hands down to sides. Let's do that again on the other side. Deep breath in, sun salute. Breathe out, forward fold. Flat back. Forward fold. Step your left foot back, knee down. Flatten the top of the foot. Hands on knee. Move your hips forward, shoulders are down. Level 2, lean forward, fingers to floor. Big breaths, right down into the belly. Hands to floor, tuck the back toe under, front foot back, plank. Breathe in, breathe out, plank to floor. Breathe in, cobra. Tuck toes under, breathe out, down dog. Step your feet together and lift your left leg up, 3-leg dog. And lunge your foot between your hands, back knee down, flatten the foot. Hands to the knees, move your hips forward. Lean forward, fingers to floor. Big breaths into the belly. And place your hands down. Tuck your back toe under. Step your back foot next to your front foot. Flat back. And forward fold. Breathe in, sun salute. Breathe out, hands to sides, back to chest in prayer. Deep breath in and out. Sun salute. Let's do 2 more. And forward fold. Flat back. And forward fold. Lunge your right foot back and stay in a high lunge position. Walk your hands to your knees. Move your hips forward. Shoulders are down. If you can, you're going to lean forward, fingers on the floor. A little bit more challenging in this position, trying to keep a lovely flat back. Hands to floor, front foot back into plank. Plank to floor, breathe in, breathe out, planking down. Flatten the feet, breathe in, cobra. Now this time I want you to lift your knees off the floor. So tighten your buttocks, shoulders away from ears, lift your chin. If you can, roll onto your toes into down dog. Otherwise, just bring your toes forward, lift your hips up, down dog. If you get twinges in your lower back, you need to bend your knees. Okay, let's step the feet together. Lift the right leg up, 3-leg dog, squeeze the buttocks and lunge the foot forward. And lower the back heel down, we've got a warrior 1. Get your feet nice and steady. Sweep the arms up. Warrior 1. Now let's check into the feet. Tripod balance, heel, base of big toe, base of little toe, all pressing down. Now lift the arches of the insteps. And now lift the outer edge arches. Okay, do we feel quite light on our feet? Is it challenging our balance just a little bit more? Breathe in, breathe out, hands to floor, step the back foot next to the front foot, forward fold, flat back, forward fold, sun salute. And breathe out, hands down to chest. Deep breath in and out. Sun salute. Swan dive, forward fold, flat back, forward fold. Step your left foot back, high lunge. Walk your hands to your knees, shoulders down, gaze forward. If you can, lean forward, fingers to floor. Keep breathing down to the belly. Place your hands on the floor, front foot back, plank. Let's breathe in, breathe out, plank to floor, or you're putting your knees and chest down. Breathe in, cobra. Now squeeze your buttocks, lift your knees, shoulders head towards hips. Gaze up, You can roll onto your toes or tuck them under. Keep the knees soft, come into down dog. Now step your feet together. Lift the left leg up, 3-leg dog, 3 toes point to the floor. Lunge your foot between your hands. Lower your back heel down, line your heels up for our warrior one. Get your feet nice and strong and firm before you lift your arms up. Now let's check in with our feet again. Pressing through the heel, the base of the big toe, the base of the little toe. Lift up the inside arches of your foot and the outside arches of the foot. And are we balancing lightly? So we've got to concentrate on our balance just a little bit more with the arches lifted. Breathe in, breathe out, hands to floor, back foot next to front foot, forward fold, flat back, forward fold, deep breath in, and breathe out, hands down to chest. Deep breath in and out. And just lower your hands down by your sides, back into mountain pose. All right, now we're going to do a little bit of standing strength and some balance. So I'm going to step a little bit back on my mat and then lift up nice and tall into the mountain pose, spreading the toes out, relying upon the tripod of balance, heels, base of big toe, base of little toe, and lifting up the arches on both sides of my feet. Breathe in, reaching up, pistol grip, shoulders down, look forward, and then slide your right foot back, squeeze into the bottom of your buttocks, and let's bend forward into a warrior 3. Tighten the tummy, have 5 toes pointing at the floor, lengthen through the arms, try to straighten the standing leg. Now with your standing foot, I want you to balance on the tripod and lift up the arches on both sides of your feet, and that will challenge your balance a little bit more. And then lifting up, we're going to place the feet next to each other and we're going to bend to the side. Keep the hips strong, nice firm tummy, nice firm thighs and strong legs. Bend to the other side. We're going to do that again. Breathe in, lift up, breathe out, bend to the side. Breathe in and lift, breathe out and bend. Lifting up nice and tall, float your hands down by your sides, then take your left hand on your right shoulder and your right arm behind your back. Now, what I don't want to see you do is when we twist, moving your hips and your knees, you'll just twist your knees and hips. Okay, so I want you to keep your knees facing forward and your hips facing forward. Standing tall, breathe in and breathe out. Twist. Oh, perhaps we should go the other way. Twist, that's better. Shoulders are down. Look over your shoulder. Your hips and knees are facing forward. They're not twisting to the side. It makes it a smaller twist. So we're twisting around our rib cage. Looking forward, changing your hands. Taking your left hand behind the back and the right hand on the left shoulder. Shoulders down, chest lifts. We're going to breathe in, breathe out. And if you keep your head just moving in line with your spine, you only look diagonally. Then move your head. So your rib cage or your spine can only twist a small amount. It's like 35%, and your head, it's more like 50%. So we've got a good deal more twisting in our neck than we do in our spine. So just be mindful to keep this into the back. Okay, and then looking forwards. Hands to sides. Turn them into fists and place them just above your lower back. Squeeze your buttocks, push your hips forward, lengthen through your spine so you're not compressing into the lower back. Push the hips forward a little bit more, then lift your right arm up over your head. Keep your shoulders down. You can look forward, gaze up, although your head back quite carefully. Just always picking something that your neck can manage. We're going to change hands. So float that hand behind your back and let's lift the other one up.
Now let's float that hand back down. And we're going to lift both hands up and bend forward. Float those hands behind your back in wide prayer. Lift them up to the ceiling. For level 2, you can press your palms together, link your fingers and reach your arms up, but only do this if you can press your palms together. We don't want to overstretch the wrists. Body weight forward in the feet. Big stretch around the buttocks and backs of legs. Lower the hands to the spine and then reach the arms forward and hinge up from the hips rather than the back. Breathe in and breathe out. Lower the hands down. Let's do that again to the other side. Breathe in, sun salute. Bring your hands to pistol grip. Shoulders down, look forward. Slide your left foot back. Squeeze into the buttocks, then tighten the tummy. Hinge forward into warrior 3. Make sure your 5 toes point at the floor. I flex my foot to make it a little easier to find where that spot is. And then let's find the tripod of balance in our foot. Lifting up the arches on either side of the foot. Keeping nice and strong. Remember, lightly on the foot. Float your back foot next to your front foot. We're going to bend to the side, and I want you to hold. Breathe into the side of the body. We've got 3 breaths. And breathe in, lift. Breathe out to bend the other side. Big breath into the side of the body. And then lifting up. Beautiful. Float your hands down to the sides. I'm going to take our left hand on our right shoulder, right arm behind the back. Knees and hips face forward. Let's twist. Changing sides. Twist. Knees and hips facing forward. And then bring yourself forward. Take your hands into into fists and put them just above your lower back. Squeeze your buttocks, push the hips forward, shoulders dropped. Now this time, if you can, release your hands. Lift them over the head. Nice big stretch, chin to chest, gaze up or lower the head back, just whichever position works best for you. And then reach up to the ceiling, link your fingers, stretch up as high as you can, then bend forward and release your fingers. Lift your toes up and put your fingers under your toes. And then drop the head down, chin to chest. Pick the hips up a bit higher. So stretching into the backs of the legs. Just working into the ankles gently with the toes lifted. And then lift the rib cage up, stretching into the arms. Tighten the tummy, lift the hips a little bit more. So you should be stretching through arms and legs and into the back. Okay, beautiful. So soften the knees, take one foot, your fingers from under one foot, then fingers from the other foot. Link the fingers, turn them inside out, lifting up, strength of the hips, and lower your hands down to sides. Beautiful. Now I'm going to face you, and we have chair pose. So let's bring those feet together again in our mountain pose position, drawing up nice and tall. We're going to breathe in, reach up, and breathe out, pull the waist in, bring your hands down to chest in prayer, and bring yourself to chair pose. So your navel draws in, you lengthen through the lower spine so there's no discomfort, and your knees are behind your toes, knees pressing together, thighs pressing together. Take your left elbow on your left knee and look to the right. Level 2, left elbow on the right knee. Level 3, elbow outside the knee. One hand to floor, one hand to ceiling. Keep your knees even. Make sure one knee doesn't push in front of the other. Lower your hand down to the other one. Bring your hands to chest and lift up, reach your arms up and lower the hands down. Let's do that again. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, hands to chest. And take your right elbow on the right knee. Take your elbow to the left knee. Elbow outside the knee. And let's focus on the ankles. Make sure they're nice and stable. They might be moving around a little bit, but press your knees together, make them strong. One hand to floor, one hand to ceiling. Then lower your hand down. Bring your hands to chest. Breathe in, lift up. And breathe out, hands down. Now we're going to go into a squat next. So let's toe heel the feet just a little bit wider. Breathe in, reach your arms up. And breathe out, hands to chest in prayer, coming into a squat. Now we're going to work into our ankles and feet just a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to take one foot and we're going to drop it inwards. Now, if you want to go into butterfly pose, please do. And you can do a similar exercise in a seated position. Now, let's drop the other one in. So you're getting a nice stretch around that ankle. This is a lovely ankle builder. Wonderful way to help strengthen up the tendons and muscles. Now let's try one more each side. Beautiful. Hands to chest. Let's pause a moment in our squat position. Then take the hands behind the back. Take a seat. And as we sit here, you can take the hand behind one leg. And we're going to point and curl the toes in, drawing just an angle with our foot, but curling the toes and spreading the toes out as we flex. Now this is a beautiful ankle strengthener. So we're mimicking all the sideway movements of the ankle in our squat position and now this position. Change sides. They're small movements but very important for your feet. Often we ignore the small movements because we like the big, bold movements for our bigger muscles. Nevertheless, our feet are very important to us for our mobility and staying on our feet. We do so many activities on our feet. We've got to make sure that our feet are in good shape. All right, let's bring the hands behind the knees. Okay, let's turn just to face forward. And we're going to bring our legs into a V. Now bring the toes forward. And we're going to bend forward, just stretching the inner thigh a little bit. Hold the hands on the shins. Now, anywhere along the shin is fine. Perhaps you can even hold the outer edge of the feet. Now lift your left hand up and open your chest. Now take your right hand and hold the inside of your foot or the inside of your leg. And dive your left hand underneath, cross your wrists and hold your foot or your ankle, shin, wherever you can reach. And let's bend forward. Don't forget to notice what your opposite foot is doing. And then release. Slide your hands up your legs, lifting up tall. Now bend forward again. If you can, hold the outer edges of the feet or the outer edges of your leg are fine. Lift your right hand up. Let's stretch. Now take your left hand, hold the inside of the foot, inside of the leg, whichever you can reach, and dive your right arm underneath. And let's cross the ankles, hold the foot or the calves. And slide your hands up your legs. Okay, now we're going to slide those feet in, turn around, take the hands behind the knees and walk the hands down the legs. Bring your knees to your chest and give yourself a nice little hug and draw 3 circles in one direction to massage the lower back. And 3 circles in the other direction. And take the hands behind the backs of the knees and let's draw circles again. Just releasing any tension out of the ankles. Remember to curl the toes, then flex the feet and stretch the toes. Let's go back around the other way. So it's important to strengthen up our feet, especially if we use shoes all day. All right, so let's lift the legs up for a moment and do a little bit of walking on the ceiling, just to get the blood moving down towards our heart. So a little bit of walking, tighten your tummy as you do the walking. Bend your knees a little bit if you're working into your thighs and hips too much. So a little bend can help take any stress out of the hips. Let's bring those knees to the chest. Place the feet down as wide as the mat, drop the knees inwards. Or you can have your feet in butterfly pose. Take the left hand on the heart center, right hand on the belly. And if you want to, you can extend your legs and just move your feet from side to side. Loosen up your ankles, your toes, your feet. You can bring your hands down to the floor, palms up, chin slightly tucked in and fingers lightly curled. Breathing into the belly, letting the body relax. Letting the feet relax. And you can turn the video off and stay in relaxation for 5, 10 or 20 minutes, then turn the video on again and join me to finish. Otherwise, stay with me now and finish. Let's move the fingers and the toes. Walk the feet up to the end position. Roll to your side, resting your head on your arm. Lift up to a seated position. Get the rib cage up and relaxing just shoulders down, chin drops slightly. Lift
your hands above your head in prayer. Breathe out, bring the hands down to chest, thumbs to heart center. Let's take 3 deep breaths to energize our body. Breathe into your belly, ribs, shoulders and back, and breathe out. Breathe into your ribs, chest, shoulders and back, and breathe out. And take another deep breath in at your own pace. Let that breath go. And have a peaceful heart and a peaceful mind and a wonderful day. Namaste. And I hope you enjoyed this video about strengthening your feet and ankles. If you enjoyed it, please press like and make a comment. And remember to subscribe to my channel and join me again.